Hello, everybody, and welcome to the BS Plus Competition Invitational. My name is Bass in the Past, and join alongside me today is the one, the only Solar. Welcome to the booth, my friend. How are you doing on this fine evening?
I'm doing very, very good. I'm looking forward to this one. It's a tight group, hard one to call today for the second of two groups heading into tomorrow's finals. So I think we're in for a hell of a ride here.
I would 100% agree. All of the teams that we've got here today are absolutely ready to battle it out on the pitch. And those four teams are going to be the German Amigos, Rix GG, Sandrock Gaming, and the White Demons. All four squads have made some pretty high-level events before. I believe all three of the squads that are eligible for RLCS here have made RLCS. And Sandrock Gaming, well, they are Sandrock Gaming. They have had some very impressive results in the past, and I have a feeling they might just do the same thing here today. We have got four very strong teams, which will be battling it out, like I said. And we're starting off with Sandrock Gaming versus German Amigos. This first game, it's going to be very closely contested, Solar. I really don't know which way to lean and which team to pick.
No, it's a hard one. I mean, we've not got any head-to-head stats for these two teams. It's their first meeting as far as Liquipedia is concerned. Whether they've ever scrimmed previously in the past is beyond our knowledge. So there's not a lot to go on here. I mean, Sandrock Gaming, massive reputation, arguably the standout team from the Middle East who won the kickoff. They're the representative team for the Intel World Open regional as well. So huge reputation for them. But German Amigos were sort of this surprise package in the spring split, and we've seen what they can do, and at times can be absolutely incredible to watch, and then at other times just potentially just getting humbled slightly.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that it works. It's an up and down when it comes to SRG for the most part. They're a very strong team. I don't want to discredit them in any way, shape, or form, but on a day where they do not perform, their floor is unfortunately low enough that really any team could take them down, which is why we say this group is so incredibly close. Every single squad here could take down the other squads that remain. And it really is a tight competition just overall. Our group yesterday was a great example of that. Not a single team took less than a single win. We had four squads yesterday. We had the Monkeys, Woke Up Like This, BS Plus Competition themselves, and SK Gaming. And that was the order in which that they fell. Monkeys number 1 at 2-1 at 8-5. Woke Up Like This at 7-4 plus 3, 2-1. They are number 2. BS Plus Competition at number 3 at 1-2. And SK Gaming at 1-2 as well at number 4. All four of those teams took wins against each other. All four of them took at least one loss against each other. So that's the type of competition we've got here today. Every single team is extremely close, and that really matters because we're all playing for seeding here. None of these teams are being eliminated. They are just playing for better seeding in that playoff bracket. And really, with a playoff or with a single elimination playoff bracket, you really want to pay attention to your seeding as much as you can.
Yeah, very much so, and I think it really does it gives the teams that played yesterday something to really pay attention to going in today. I mean, Monkeys coming out on top of that group, set to finish face off against bottom of this group. But again, I don't think there's much to separate any of the 8 teams that are playing in this invitational. So even if Monkeys get bottom of Group B, it's not as though that is then a set in stone win for them. They've still got to come out and perform in those quarterfinal matchups. And from there, it really is anyone's game. And I think especially sort of having Sandrock Gaming in this group, and the only team that have actually previously faced them before out of the other 3 is Rix. It gives us so much of an unknown and potentially sort of almost uncharted territory when it comes to some of these teams. Sandrock obviously not getting as many opportunities on a competitive setting to play your sort of EU RLCS caliber teams, and as we say, the only reason they've played Rex is by running into them in the Nice Cactus tournament from September of last year. So even then, both of those teams have grown in that time. So it's another just completely different series we're expecting to see.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting day, full of some matchups, like you said, that are new, so full of some familiar faces. It's gonna be interesting, though, in this current iteration, considering that IWO has wrapped up their closed qualifiers. A lot of these guys have been competing on an international level. They're definitely pretty prepared for events like this. It really always does help to have other events that are similar, that have a lot of pressure there, that can give you an experience of what it's like in very high intensity situations. And that's one of the good things for SRG, despite the fact that they are not in RLCS, like we said, and despite that their opponents in German Amigos, the first team they're playing here today, have done very well in RLCS previously. It's really going to come down to what type of playstyle they have here today, how they're able to handle this pressure, and what type of performance they really show us out the gates, because it's a best of 5, but it really does feel, based on what we saw yesterday, considering there were 2 sweeps, or I think maybe even 3 sweeps throughout the entire day, of players and teams just not necessarily coming out the gates right, and then they never find their footing. So for SRG today, this first game is going to be pretty important. Yes, they will have that full best of 5 to make the adjustments, but I beyond feel that if they don't come off with the strongest performance possible, they are just going to get outdone by German Amigos.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Germany Amigos have shown what they can do, finishing second in the grid overall. And you may have said maybe some teams not taking that as seriously, but there was still money on the line for every single win that a team got. The fact that they then got themselves into the playoffs, some of the teams they beat along the way as well, was particularly impressive, and only falling short of winning due to Team BDS. And anyone who's watched the EU scene over the past year knows just how dominant BDS have actually been, and how much of a task that is to then just go head to head with them. And I do believe, just off the top of my head, they did actually beat BDS during the league play portion of the grid, but in the playoffs they ultimately came up short. And with that, they sealed themselves that wild card spot to get themselves into the major. The major, not quite as good a performance, finishing that sort of 5th to 8th level bracket. So making it out of the group stages, but never any further than that. They got first round from there on. So a pretty anticlimactic end to RLCS Season X, but still a lot for them to be proud of.
Yeah, definitely a lot to be proud of. Making RLCS this season really was an accomplishment in itself, considering how competitive it was to get into that environment in the first place. And the truth of the matter is that they had an incredible performance. They may not have won it all, but the truth is that you can only have one winner. So at the end of the day, they had a great performance nonetheless. And that's sort of why we're talking about Sandrock so much here, is because we know that they're a very good team who can do things very similar to that. They can have good results in multiple instances, but they are a team that has not necessarily always perform to that expectation, to that level that we know we can play, or that they can play up to. So this first game really going to be an interesting one. I'm not sure who's going to take this one either way. Money down, money on the table here. Who are you going to have to pick, Solar? I'm probably going to lean just a little bit further into German Amigos because they've been on an upward trend lately, but if Sandrock Gaming come out the gates firing, I could see that flipped on its head.
Yeah, I mean, if Sandrock can really get that sort of team play style that we're used to seeing from them, where they like those sort of high balls into the air, getting those passes connecting, dropping it down in front of net, which is something we've seen them do so often, then it could become a very close series. But just knowing what German Amigos can do, it's hard to go against that. And I think German Amigos definitely are in a position to edge this, but it's as you say, Bass, if Sandrock come out hot, it's anyone's series. Yeah, money on the table though. I'm going to go with German Amigos as well, but it's gonna be close.
Yeah, this is going to be a very close series no matter what here. I really do think that, both of us picking German Amigos is going to be the slightly I want to say slightly smarter choice here, but it really is such a close call. Either one of these squads could come out on top. And I continue to reiterate that it's going to be about who comes out the gate firing, who comes out in this first game and really dazzles us, because teams have just seemed to have that in this tournament, that once a trend is set, they kind of just run with that trend. The one team that seems to have broken that is going to be SK Gaming, where they went 0-6 yesterday, meaning they lost 2 straight series in sweeps both, and then came out to beat the top seed in their division in Monkeys. So I don't know. Listen, there's something in the air where it does seem like trends are a very important thing, but you never really know. With a team like SK being able to just kind of flip it on its head within just a moment's notice, really this one's kind of up in the air, and we're just going to have to wait and see. So far, this is slated to be one of the best series we could see in this entire tournament, but we're going to have to find out. We've got, I think, about a minute or two until we've got everybody ready here in this lobby, just testing it out, making sure that everybody is happy with the pings that we have, happy with the server that we have got set up, and then we will be underway. Solar, we'll look at the rest of the matchups that we've got here today before we get into this very first one. After this, we're going to have Sandrock versus Rix, and then finally Rix versus German Amigos to finish off the day here on the A stream, on the BS competition stream. Of those matchups, it does seem like this is probably the hardest one for Sandrock. Not to try and talk down to Rix, but I definitely think that if Sandrock can beat German Amigos at the gate here, it's really going to do them wonders in being able to just kind of take down the rest of their opponents throughout the day.
Yeah, I think a positive start here for Sandrock is definitely got to just snowball and momentum for them. And if you look at just again, coming back to the head-to-heads between Rix and just about everyone else in this group, it doesn't really look good for them, facing Sandrock twice, losing both times, facing German Amigos just once before, and that was match day 1 of the grid for the spring split, and again German Amigos came out on top there. So it's not going to be easy, and off the top of my head as well, Rix don't have a particularly good record against White Demons either, so I think coming into this one, Rix definitely have a point to prove. I think Sandrock are definitely, as always, going to want to put on as good a performance as they can and just still just keep driving in this idea of let us play RLCS. Give us something more to play for. Let us prove ourselves against the best of the best sort of thing. Because even just that show match that they got to have on stream during the championships where they beat Empty 2-1 in the series, it's good to let them have that limelight and really just show what they can do. And I think any opportunity they can get will definitely be the case. And then you look at White Demons and German Amigos as well, and should any prospective orgs be watching this, they're unpicked up. They don't have an org, so they're here, I suppose, to make a case of sign us for the upcoming season.
Yeah, and I think that they should be signed for the upcoming season. If I'm being 100%, German Amigos deserve some sort of organization backing them, to put it simply. They truly, truly do deserve it, and so do White Demons. I mean, every single player and every single team that's in this competition that is not signed yet has proven already what type of capabilities they have, what type of team they are. And today is sort of the proving ground here for German Amigos and White Demons, like you said. I believe that both of them absolutely deserve to have some organization backing them, but the results are going to have to speak for themselves, because I think we are just about ready here. Looks like we've got everybody into the server, and I think we are ready indeed for our very first matchup of the night. Sandrock Gaming versus the German Amigos. German Amigos in the orange, Sandrock Gaming in the blue. Solar, this is slated to be an incredible game. Let's see what these two teams have got.
We have not seen this matchup before. We will continue to reiterate that no parameters from what to expect between these two teams, but an early opportunity there, going begging there for Ahmad. Just a shot a little bit wide of that far post, but is that an early indicator that German Amigos just aren't quite up to speed just yet? Very early doors, but Sandrock Gaming could well have had a chance to take an early lead there.
I've had the pleasure of being able to cast Sandrock on a multitude of occasions. One of the most recent ones was watching them in the Rocket Corps and, oh my word, ESEA Monthlies, where they ended up taking second place, but doing a great job on the way there. A lot of the reason was that this man right here, Ahmad, getting in the way, and then Khaled finishing it off. That 1-2 punch on offense is beyond lethal, and 40 seconds into it, they are already showing why they've had such good results in the past. Great start here for Sandrock Gaming. The question is, can they keep it going? Because Ivan all of a sudden has a 1v1. Can he get it in? Yes, he can. 1-1 here within the first 50 seconds.
Good start from Sandrock Gaming, but they've given it away just 7 seconds late. It's a lovely shot there from Ivan just to get around that ball, and all he needs to do is put that little bit more power on it, and we're all tied up. Just 47 seconds gone in game number 1 and a goal for either team. Sandrock started positively. There's a demo there from Akman. He's looking for a bump as well. O'Callaghan with the flick. It's going to that top right-hand corner, but Catalysm was up to make the save. A little bump in the backfield there between two Sandrock players will alleviate just that little bit of pressure. There's a chance now for Ivan to make it 2. Can't find the near post, and that will be cleared away. German Amigos close to taking a lead, but unable to find the target.
Now already both teams have had those opportunities that have just gone barely awry. That first shot off the post that we saw from Sandrock Gaming, and now for German Amigos as well. Both teams having a little bit of difficulty when it comes to the accuracy, but that's not necessarily surprising. It is game number 1. Both these guys are going to take some time to try and figure out, oh my word, what type of playstyle they want. A passing playstyle for German Amigos is probably a great one. Using their team all together is a great idea. Unfortunately, execution, again, just not there. Meanwhile, Sandrock go the other way. It's a 1-2 combo, and once again, they strike.
Denzo getting in on the action there. It's a huge bump at the near post. Just takes Ivan clean out. Rizex unable to recover as well. And Senzo finding that top right-hand corner. And Sandrock Gaming have restored the lead here in game number 1 with Khalid looking to challenge in the midfield. Rizex is up. Quiet game from him so far. It's Ahmad ground pinch, but unable to carry it over the top of Ivan, who's got a second touch on. Catalysm looking for the shot, it's in. Ivan will get the credit, but that was as good as Catalysm's.
Ivan just trying to take this one, wants to stat pat just a little bit here. That shot definitely going into the top right corner, but the assist will be enough for Catalysm as it is 2-2 here. 2:52 on the clock, loving the way this lines up right now. 2-2, 5-2-2, looking great here, and so are the German Amigos. They have had a very strong start here. After Sandrock were the first to score, the response we have seen so far has been phenomenal from German Amigos, and they might just pick up another. No, O'Callaghan gonna get in the way of that one, and Senzo will pop this one out, but Catalysm still going to be there. No boost in his tank, so he'll leave it to Ivan. And once again, this German Amigos offense, once it starts its flow, it is impossible to stop.
Ivan getting an early hat-trick. Less than half a game won, gone 3-2 now. German Amigos. As Bas said, once they get going, it's hard to find a way to shut down German Amigos. Went on at the backward, threatening touch. Rizex gets up nice and early. O'Callaghan tame shot in the end, and Senzo has to force it off to his right hand side. Catalysm round 1 unable to force it past the second, slowed down by Ahmad. But Ivan is up early, looks to play it in field, clear from the backward. It's not enough, and Catalysm will make the lead larger.
And this is kind of the difficulty of playing against German Amigos here. We mentioned how good their offense is looking, and this is part of the reason. If you make a mistake on defense, my oh my, will they pounce quickly. German Amigos up by 2 here with about 2 minutes remaining, and 6 goals in 3 minutes. It's clearly a shootout between these two teams. They are taking an onslaught of shots so far. The question is when does that start to break down and we start to see the defense become a little bit more prioritized? O'Callaghan, the only player on his team with any saves. Meanwhile, every single player on the German Amigos, every single Amigo themselves has a save here. So Sandrock going to have to focus on their defense a little bit more. Their offense has definitely been pretty solid, but when it comes time for them to buckle down and make sure that they don't get scored upon, they've unfortunately let in a handful of not so good goals, and they might just let in another here. O'Callaghan, the only person ready for the defense, gets up for that one, but Rizex going to be able to pop this straight center. Catalysm is waiting, but Ahmad gets in the way, and all of a sudden we just have this ping pong match that devolves into a double commit and then a whiff. Chaos erupting on the pitch here, and with only about 90 seconds left, Sandrock cannot afford to be disorganized. They need a good play, and they need it now.
Slowly but surely running out of time to get those 2 goals back. Ahmed, round 1, tries to 50 through a second. Khalid gets that ball just a little bit too early. The shot is not on, and they have to work it over again. It's gone past Khalid. Can Ahmed get back? Will make the save, but they have to start over once more. Flex high. Rizex up early, looks to get a second, maybe a third on the follow. No such luck. Khalid with a block to at least force it wide, but every bit of pressure that German Amigos have is just one more chance for Sandrock, slipping away from them. Khaled up, looking for a flip reset. Gets the ground pinch. Ahmed to take over round one. Infield pass to Senzo. Lovely play. And they have one back.
And there we go. 30 seconds left and the light has been shown. It's a great solo play from Ahmed there and a great following touch from Senzo. Team play starting to become pretty prevalent in this game here, Solar. The question is who starts to show their individual prowess. Multiple goals here being assisted, and so far it really has been those team plays that has been the most effective thing on both sides. Question is does Sandrock have enough time to set up another intricate play like that? Only 18 seconds left on the clock. They need a miracle. They need something to go in their favor. Ahmed trying to get a solo. Senzo's shot just a bit lackluster, but it's not going to be the end of the offense yet. Ocala on the wall, waiting, lurking, but Catalysm getting in the way, making this as difficult as possible. Ahmed, the last shot of this game, and he will not find it, but Ocala will keep it up. There is a chance here. Sandrock want to even this one out and force an overtime in game number 1, but they will not. German Amigos spike that one down and just narrowly take game number 1.
I'm amazed that Ocala even got to that ball to keep that one out. I thought sure as down a bit of spell from both teams there, but German Amigos do come out on top. Sandrock early in game 1 getting the opening goal as well, but once German Amigos got 1 and 2, it was a little bit hard for Sandrock to find their footing on defense. Finally managed to shut them out, pull a goal back as well. Ultimately coming up short in the end there. 4-3 to German Amigos in game number 1. We're going to move very quickly into game 2.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game number 2. The momentum definitely in favor of German Amigos right now, but not far enough in favor to say that Sandrock are out of this thing by any stretch of the imagination. The big separating factor in that game, we mentioned it earlier, and I will mention it again now, is the fact that their defense just did not seem to be up to par with their opponents. German Amigos were very quick on their defense. If you had a shot ripping at them, they were most likely either prepared or getting in the way before it arrived. So, Sandrock, you're going to have to focus on your backboard defense here. Just focus on making sure that when your back heel is pressed and dug into the ground, you can still make a good save. Rizek's going to start off with a great challenge here, immediately challenges Ahmed, and then forces a ball into the back of the backboard, and Catalysm will finish it off. 10 seconds in, and German Amigos already with a quick start.
It's good speed there from Rizek, but I do feel Ocala should deal with that one just that little bit better. He has to find a way to force that into the corner, because Catalysm is going to take that one on a silver platter. Thank you very much, good sir. 1-0 German Amigos early in game number 2. Is Catalysm coming down, looking to make it 2. Couldn't quite beat out to the ball there though. As Senzo opts to leave that for Ahmed. Infield to Khaled, sends it towards the backboard. Ran out of boost, didn't have much more he could do with it. Senzo, the 50-50, pops that up high. German Amigos looking a little bit disjointed. Not quite sure who was going to take that one. Eventually, control was maintained, but they found themselves on defense here. Ahmed pinch into the roof. No one there from Sandrock to follow up on. Khaled into the midfield. Shot on from Ahmed. It's just wide, but Ivan can't quite clear yet. Senzo to leave it. And again, the clear is made. German Amigos find themselves a little bit under pressure here, but so far dealing with it.
That's the big thing for them, is that their defense has been able to withstand this pressure, but when does it crack? Overwhelming amounts of shots. Eventually, something's got to drop here, but that's if they can keep it going long enough. Finally, German Amigos break out of their own half, and I think they should be able to start an offense together here. Not if Rizek misses the touch, though. Catalysm left by himself on the back half, and now that's going to allow Sandrock to go back into their usual pattern, get this offense flowing, and keep this pressure up. Offense is one thing, though. They need a goal, and they need it quickly here. They're down 1-0. The momentum still by far in favor of German Amigos, and considering how quickly they are able to strike on a counterattack, you do not want to even let this be a lead in their favor. Ahmed going to try to not allow said lead in their favor, and Ocala going to miss his shot to follow it up. That's a rarity from Ocala. He is usually one of the most lethal strikers in Rocket League in general. For him to put one that far into the backboard has me a little bit dazed and confused.
Yeah, it was a brilliant setup from Akbar. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the double tap, but you could see the prowess that they have on the field. Drew 2 German Amigos players up. 3 players missed, and a huge chance there to at the very least turn one on from O'Khalid. Firing high is not like him, but Sandrock Gaming haven't let it get to them as they keep this pressure on. O'Khalid to the backboard. Senzo with a follow-up just wide of that left-hand post. Keep going. Still searching for that equalizer with just under half of game 2 to go. But when German Amigos do get forward, Sandrock Gaming just look a little bit latchy on defense or being beaten to balls and not quite getting to the clears as early as they should be.
They do definitely need to be getting the clears a little bit quicker here because, like we said, just eventually something has got to drop. It just feels like overwhelming pressure for an extended period where eventually something has to be turned into a mistake. Something has to give. Maybe this is the play where it does so. Ahmad has time and space, but can't get it into the back of the net again. Off target with the shot. This has become a consistent trend now here, Solar. German Amigos haven't necessarily been perfect with their shot placement, but Sandrock Gaming has just been a bit further behind than their opponents. Multiple shots going off target. That following one we saw was just a little bit too directly at the goal. Multiple players in net and prepared, and as there's a miss on the wall, German Amigos will start up their own offense here. The counterattack into the backboard. Can Ivan do anything with this? Off the ceiling. Catalysm, no! Can't make the touch, but at least Rizex is there to keep the offense up. And now comes the second part of this equation. German Amigos also wasting time here. And Sandrock Gaming cannot afford that. They only have 70 seconds, and if they do not score, they're going to be down 2-0 in the series. And, oh, I think they just might. Ivan with a disgusting solo play in front of the net and probably secures the game.
O'Khalid exactly where he wanted him. That little cut inside just to pop that high force. A play from O'Khalid who thought a straight shot was coming on. Could well have snuck in, but did require the finish off the crossbar in the end. A commanding 2-goal lead late on for German Amigos, who have done fantastically well just to waste time, draw Sandrock Gaming in, frustrate them ultimately, and eventually get that second on the counter-attack. It's nigh on perfect in regards to defensive performance from German Amigos so far in game 2 with just 40 seconds to go here. Ivan just taking his time in the corner, plays it high, makes it just that little bit more difficult, forcing Sandrock to work for it, and they've worked just that bit too hard. There's gonna be a breakaway, and it will be 3.
Oh my word, German Amigos doing great with these counterattacks here in this game. And something I'd like to point out, I know you guys can't see the scoreboards yourself, but you can at least see the stats on the side. Count up the total shots for Sandrock and German Amigos, and guess what? They're going to be tied. Despite the fact that Sandrock felt like they were having overwhelming offensive pressure in this game, they only have 6 registered shots, and guess what? German Amigos, same exact thing, 6 registered shots for the team, but they have 3 goals. They are shooting 50% right now. Meanwhile, Sandrock have not scored a single time here in this game. Sandrock have got to go back to the drawing board. There's no two ways about it. Right now, they've got to figure out a different strategy for their offense. It's clear that this just light pressure that they keep from midfield is not an effective enough strategy. They've got to figure out a way to break down this German Amigos defense and give themselves better shots because they've been shut out now here in game number 2, and they're down 2-0 in the series as well. Solar, this is unfortunately not as close as we might have expected. German Amigos truly running away with this thing.
2-0 up in the series, looking to sweep as well, and it's, as I say, about professional a performance as you're going to see out of a team there. 6 shots, but 3 goals, and spending most of that time in their own half as well. It's a brilliant performance from them. Sandrock Gaming just not quite able to turn any offensive pressure into shots and ultimately goals. In the end, 6 shots for themselves, but nothing to show for it, and it's a long, long way back for them, requiring a reverse sweep here, and more so having not scored for over 5 minutes now.
It's been a drought for quite some time here. Sandrock Gaming really have struggled to find an effective offense here, and Again, this is somewhat similar to what you and I were mentioning earlier today when we were saying that it really does feel like momentum is such a huge thing in this tournament. If a team starts off strong, they really do tend to continue that strength into their next series and even into the following games from that first start. So right now, that's kind of what German Amigos are doing. They are absolutely running with their momentum. They are continuing to take this pace of play and absolutely bend it to their will. Meanwhile, Sandrock Gaming just looking for any control here in this series. As a matter of fact, they're looking for any control here in this game. As game number 3 is underway, we are at a 0-0 score line, and while Sandrock are the ones on offense here, they look to have very little control over where this ball moves.
Struggling for boosts at the moment, and ultimately keeping any form of pressure on. Ahmed gets a vital dunk on the on-rushing Catalysm there, just to keep this one level early stages of game number 3. Senzo into the corner, but Rizek's out quickly to clear that one. Ivan sends it middle. Rizek's with a chance to get his first of the series, who ultimately has just had to play this sort of connector role. Hasn't really got many assists, hasn't got many goals out of it as well, but a necessary part of this German Amigos team so far, as he still can't find the back of the net. Ahmad, last ditch on the line to keep that one out, but Sandrock Gaming living dangerously here, and Rizek's will finally get his goal this series.
This is the team plays we have been so complimentary of for German Amigos here. It doesn't really seem like a team play, but Ivan forcing that touch out of the corner and just making the defense awkward there so that Rizex can dive in safely and get the goal. That is the team play. That is that flow, that communication that Sandrock are lacking right now. Sandrock have tried for some good solo plays. They've tried for some good passing plays, but the unfortunate truth is that they never seem to connect exactly how you want them to. And speaking of which, that time they go for another passing play, but it's off the bar. It's off the bar this time as well, but at least it will roll on in. Senzo finally gonna stop this drought here, gonna get a goal for Sandrock, and it could not have come at a better time.
Just a total of 13 seconds later for that goal. It's perfect response there from Sandrock Gaming, but they can't just keep responding. They need to force the issue, and Senzo does just that. Just a matter of seconds later, 5 in fact, perfect kickoff that, and just slots it behind Rizek, who expects that near post and was gravely mistaken.
Unfortunately so, and finally we start to see Senzo warm up. I'd seen a lot of Senzo slander from some of y'all, saying that he wasn't seemingly playing all that well today. Well, Chad, I think you might have an answer here. 2 goals within about 20 seconds. He has really put his team on his back right now, and with 3 minutes remaining, he's going to have to continue with said backpack if he wants this to be a game number 4. German Amigos, as we mentioned, they're on series point. If they win this match, that is the end of the entire series, and they're looking to do exactly that. Back on offense once again, keeping this pressure up. And while this type of strategy did not work out for Sandrock Gaming, let's see how it does for German Amigos.
Having to chase the game for the first time since the early stages of game number 1. German Amigos requiring a goal to tie this up, but having a Kushti 2-game lead in the series, so won't be particularly fussed if this one does go. Senzo will get a hat-trick, created that time by O'Khalid with a huge bump in the back line on Rizex, and left wide open. Half the game to go. Sandrock Gaming have a commanding lead for the first time in this series.
My, oh my, Sandrock from down 2-0 in the series to 3-1 up in game number 3. The turnaround from this team is beyond impressive, including the defensive stance we're starting to see. I mentioned earlier, O'Khalid seemed to be the only person involved in the defense for Sandrock Gaming. Now all of a sudden, they're getting everybody involved here. Actually, I think the only person without a save is going to be Senzo, who's got the hat trick. So switching up that 1-2-3 rotation has seemingly worked out for the team. Question is, can they keep it up? O'Khalid gets involved with the defense once again. And Sandrock, this turnaround here in game number 3 is absolutely brilliant from them.
What a save that was from Khalid as well. You're not knowing where that bounce is going to go coming down from the crossbar. He's picked it out perfectly to maintain that 2-goal lead. Senzo with a fake Catalysm just about gets a piece of that one. O'Khalid trying a fake as well, but Ivan more than aware to it. And Rizex will carry clear. It comes right back down with the hands of Senzo. backs off, allows Catalysm to drive forward. Ahmad up the earliest. Senzo will go unchallenged here in the air, gets it round from the corner, but not appropriate for any of his teammates to follow up on. Sandrock Gaming will be okay with this, just having these little spells of pressure, forcing German Amigos to constantly start over, whilst having this 2-goal lead. With a minute to go now, holding on to this could turn the tides of the series. Down by 2, of course, lose one more game, and they will start the groups with an 0-1 result. So Khaled, unfortunately, denied by the woodwork alone. Ivan has a shooting opportunity, and this is where it starts to get a little bit shaky for Sandrock.
Oh no, they're just a bit too confident in their offense right now, and I can understand why they're confident in their offense considering the trends, but you guys have to be careful. Our biggest criticism of the team for Sandrock so far has been the fact that they were not prioritizing defense to the correct degree and really were not having as great a defensive stance as they should have. Now is the time to prove to us what type of defense you have. 40 seconds left here. If you let German Amigos come back from this 3-goal deficit, it is going to be a long road to recovery in the next couple of series that you have. And, German Amigos do look kind of poised to take a goal here. This one into the backboard. Ahmad, though, not the greatest clear. And Catalysm looking for a double touch, maybe even a triple. And he will find it. Flip reset off the backboard. Slams this one home, and German Amigos tie it up.
That is filth from Catalysm. The triple tap, including the flip reset, is ridiculous to tie up. 17 seconds left. Sandrock Gaming, how are your nerves? They have to hold on here. They can't afford to concede one more goal as Rizex will look to slow this down, maybe just force an overtime. Is there a chance for a counter-attack? No. Shut down. OT in game 3. One more goal could send Sandrock packing from this series.
Oh, and unfortunately, I'm starting to think that they might. They're back on defense already here in this game, enduring a lot of pressure from German Amigos. But look at that shot from Ahmed all the way out at midfield. Tries to rip one on target. Not quite able to do so, but he's at least getting the pressure developed here. Sandrock Gaming going to look for their first offense here in overtime. And, Khaled on the back wall. That's not a place you want to see that, man. That is a dangerous position. And somehow, though, Sandrock will not come away with a goal. All 3 players getting involved. All 3 taking a shot, but not a single one of them finds the back of the net. And now here comes German Amigos. Counterattack off the backboard. Is anyone there? No. Rizex wanted to wait and just play patiently out at midfield. A respectable decision considering it's overtime here in game number 3. But again, both teams coming so incredibly close to scoring already within this first minute.
It's just going to ramp up from here. Sandrock have to score the next goal, or they will start the Invitational 0-1. German Amigos would start 1-0, of course, with a 3-0 sweep. Not much better than that. Oh, Khaled had a chance to put it onto the back, where a demo from Senzo as well, just to give German Amigos that little bit more to think about. Catalysm, mental fortitude coming through just to slow it down and force it out. Ahmed not got the boost. Catch up to that. Senzo has actually slotted that under Khaled. It recovers well enough to at least get the 50-50 down into German Amigos half. Minute and 45 played in overtime. Very little to separate these teams in game number 3. Sandrock Gaming had that 2-goal lead. 3-1 up they were with less than a minute to go, and overcommit allowed Ivan to tie up. Oh, Khaled gets the goal, and Sandrock Gaming begin the reverse sweep.
You just knew this was coming when you saw all 3 of the German Amigos players in that corner. When you give an easy shot like that, Khaled will nail it, and that he does. Sandrock Gaming pick up their first win of this series. And it's an important one here, Solar. They were down 0-2 in the series. Now they start their chance at a reverse sweep. But it doesn't get easier from here. They need 2 perfect games in a row if they want to take this series. And German Amigos, considering they tie it up at 0 seconds, apparently have a ton of fight left within them.
Very much so. It's an impressive comeback from 3-1 down, though Sandrock did make it slightly easier on them in the end. allowing them to get that second goal, which really opened the doors. But a bit of individual brilliance from Catalysm as well to tie up. Just couldn't quite find their way through in that overtime, but still got a game lead on them. It comes in this mental fortitude though. Now that Sandrock have got that game, they may have a little bit of momentum. Tails are up, and with just a little bit of belief, they could at the very least force game 5 here as Rizex goes low, plays it around a second as well. He's trying to find a man in the middle, but Senzo from the backboard. There's an overcommit, and O'Khalid with a shot on. Brilliant tracking back from Ivan to clear that one. I thought that was destined for a goal.
I honestly expected this to be 1-0. I'm astonished that somehow Ivan got back to that one. I'm astonished that in general that German Amigos are withstanding the pressure that we're seeing from Sandrock Gaming. Like we said, Sandrock, their highest to highs truly is a brilliant place to be. When they are on, they are just truly a terrifying team against pretty much anybody in EU. But when they don't play well, they don't play great at all. And those first 2 games were a great example of that. They struggled to figure out a good offense, struggled to find a good defense. Now that they have found said defense and offense, it is hard to slow them down. Well, that's way to slow them down. Senzo gonna miss a pretty much open net, and Sandrock, where they basically should be up 2-0 at this point, Solar.
Yeah, 2 big chances pass up. I don't think O'Khalid can do much more about the first one, but Senzo has to be sending that one on target. If German Amigos, by some miracle, make a save on it, you just have to curse your luck and move on. But firing that one high is criminal, and Catalysm with a ceiling shot to make it 1-0. And will Sandrock Gaming live to rue the chances they've missed?
We had mentioned solo plays just a while back and how they needed to be a little bit more prevalent if someone wanted to try and take this series and just sort of hold it in their own potential. This is exactly what it is. They're trying to control the momentum. They are trying to hold this game hostage here. German Amigos doing a great job of that because when they get a lead, they are so good at getting defensive and just forcing their opponents into their play style. That's exactly what's happening here. You see a defensive, oh boy, Sandrock Gaming who double commit, but won't get punished for it. Rizex and Ivan both waiting back, and I knew they were going to play a defensive playstyle, but it seems like defense is the only option here for German Amigos. They are baiting their opponents into their half, and it's a bold play for sure, Solar, and I'm a little bit worried. Sandrock are not a team to test their offense.
Yeah, passing up a few good chances right throughout this series. In fact, they found their footing in game number 3. But that is a massive bump from Rizex. Will Akma get back? He's not got enough on it. But what a bump that is from Rizex. Ground to air missile to take Senzo out of that one. And German Amigos find themselves 2 goals up.
Oh my word, I'm not even really sure what to say there. That is a big ol' oof for our friend who has just been completely taken off the field mid-air, and all of a sudden German Amigos, this is why they play such a defensive play style. They know that Sandrock are eager to get a goal, and when Sandrock starts getting eager, they start to jump a little bit quicker, which makes them just a tad more predictable. And the German Amigos, they're a team that can predict what their opponents are doing 5 ways to Sunday. Halfway through this game, and at this point, German Amigos just need to hold on. Not only do they have the lead, but they've got some buffer room as well with that second goal. And Sandrock do look poised to at least take 1 here in this game, but the unfortunate truth is, yep, once again, their defense is just not prioritized enough. In my opinion, Solar, correct me if I'm wrong in this one, the reason they won game number 3 is because their defense started to actually look top caliber. Their offense has not needed improvements. It's their defense that has really had the big question marks for the day.
Yeah, very much so. I think they've been able to put on a lot of pressure when they go forward. In fact, they've forced German Amigos into their own half for lengthy periods of this series. But when German Amigos did get forward, they always seemed quicker and more controlled. And Sandrock Gaming, they were just a little bit out of rotation at times, not quite sure who was going to take the ball, who should be then going and rotating, getting bumps, just where they should be. And ultimately, German Amigos just found these little gaps to find goals and get leads going. And from there, Sandrock just started to panic a little bit, and they realised the position they were in, how much they had to fight back. And I think that just got into their heads a little bit. And here we find them down by 2 with 1:10 to go. And the offense has fell a bit flat for them.
Yeah, it has fallen a little bit flat here. It's seeming like their entire just game is starting to fall flat, and I think you're 100% correct in saying that it's got to do with the mental fortitude of the team. It's got to be absolutely heartbreaking to take such a really well-deserved win in game number 3 and then go into game number 4, and immediately, not only do your opponents score once, but they score twice on top of that, giving themselves some buffer room. You're kind of just playing from behind that entire time, and unfortunately, they just haven't been able to do so. German Amigos up by 2 and possibly 3 as they've got another offense together here. Rizek's denied by Khaled, or so it says on the scoreboard. I think it actually was Senzo who came flying through, but either way, not really going to make much of a difference because Sandrock cannot be focusing on defense right now. They've got to get their offense together. 24 seconds left, and if they do not score twice, that is the end of this series, and as Rizek gets in the way of this one, he's just going to delay enough time that I think that is set in stone. Wait a minute, maybe not. Senzo's up for this one. Ahmed's there in the corner, but he's backwards. Couldn't quite get to the ball. If they had nailed that shot, maybe Solar, but as the clock ticks down, they are only delaying the inevitable. Sandrock going to fall 3-1 in this series. German Amigos go 1-0 on the day to start on off. What a great first performance from German Amigos.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, German Amigos, 2 very, very professional performances right throughout that series. Game 2, Game 4, shutting Sandrock Gaming out ultimately and really playing it to their strengths where they can do this sort of sit in and just let the pressure come to them because they're very, very good at their defensive rotations, making necessary saves that you don't expect people to make, and they're just there. They're able to, because they've got their positioning to a T. It's such a fine art that they've come down to it. And when they were forced to go and get goals as well, they found the way to do that. Yes, they ended up losing game 3, but from being 3-1 down and managing to force the overtime and really take it to Sandrock Gaming in that scenario as well, it shows the dynamic playstyle that they can have and how quickly they are capable of switching that up.
Yeah, 100%. They really are such a dynamic team. I think that's probably the best word that you use there, just because it truly does encompass how much this team is able to make adjustments, is able to conform themselves to whatever playstyle their opponents are playing in. Well, 2 teams that have apparently figured out each other's playstyles is what's going on the B stream right here. We want to give a shout out to them because apparently White Demons and Rix are in a 12-minute OT right now. So we're not going to try to waste too much of your time. We've got to take a break here anyways and get ready for our next matchup. So I'm going to highly recommend that you guys go check out our B stream, !B stream in the chat if you want to go check that out for now, because Solar and I are done with our first series of the day, but that series is not only still going on, like I said, it is in overtime, and it is intense. If you guys want to go see that... Oh, wait. I think our producer just told us who just won that one. White Demons have finished a 12-minute overtime to win that game. Is that the game or the series to our producer? It is the series, so never mind. We are not going to send you guys over. That is the end of that series as well. Looks like all of us are going to be taking a break. I unfortunately spoiled that for you. I am so sorry. But our producer had just been trying to tell us to let you guys know. But if that's any indication of the action that we're going to have here today, Solar, we are in for a treat. That was only Series 1 for the day. We're going to be heading into Series 2 in just a little bit. But first, we're going to take a quick break, get everything set up. So do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Songs that I learned to sing, watching you bloom in the light of the moon. Your loneliness will never be lost on me. So reach out and reach out. Don't be a stranger. did was wrong. Guess you got all you wanted. Yeah, I don't know why suddenly you're gone. You'll never be forgotten. Pretending no one is to blame. Too late to reignite our flame. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind. In retrospect, I could have paid attention. I could have tried harder, been smarter. Deep water, I'd be drowned. I should have felt the tension. I overreacted and acted childish, impacted us all around. When you were pushing me away, I should have tried to give you space and get out of your way. How did I not see this coming? You leaving one day. Pretending no one is to blame. Too late to reignite our flame. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind.
If I were to the sea, baby, I never say, for I will fall into the light. Every time I try to breathe, the moon will rise and carry me, for I've loved and I have died. So I won't hold back, and you should know that what's never gone, just have regrets. So I won't go back. Oh Lord, guide me to forget the time I lost with no regrets, and the moon shine back again. And the moon shine back again. When I drove down to Abyss, while I blame the world's neglect, then I shine right back again.
Still a city, still so far from home. I've searched for you all my life. Cast out like a shadow, racing towards the light. I pray to see you one more time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the BS Plus Competition Invitational. My name is Bass in the Past, and joined alongside me once again is the lovely Solar. And Solar, we had a heck of a first game here today. It was a 3-1 in favor of the German Amigos versus Sandrock Gaming. But Sandrock Gaming are not going to get a moment to breathe. They have got their second game set up for them right here, right now, and it is against Rick's GG. A team which we had mentioned probably coming into this one the underdogs. They have not necessarily had the greatest results against the rest of the competition in this group. But hey, 3-1 against their previous opponents in the White Demons. Both of these guys are going into this game with only one win apiece, so it's about as even as it can get. Your early thoughts before we get into this matchup?
I think the fact that these guys have faced twice before and Sandrock have come out on top both times, 4-2 and 3-0 wins, kind of gives us a little bit of an idea, but it's an interesting matchup as a whole, both 0-1. It really is absolutely massive that one of these two teams comes out swinging here. And I think they've really got to make the biggest difference of this group as they can. So again, I think Ricks have a point to prove. I suppose so do Sandrock as well, honestly, but it's hard to call. It is hard to call. I think Ricks are going to be a little bit beat up over the fact that they've just lost a close to 13-minute OT. So I think I'm going to give it to Sandrock, and again, I'm going to say it's going to be close though.
I am muted. Did not realize that I had accidentally hit my mute button. We are back on cast, and I think we're about ready to go here. Was mentioning that I wanted to give just a little shout out to Rick's coach in JG7, one of the guys out in the NA scene that has made his way over to EU as well. So shout out to him, but I don't think that coach alone is going to be enough for this team. 2 seconds into this one, and we are ready to go here as Rick's are already on offense. The most awkward start I've ever seen in Solar. You're gonna have to take it away from me, my friend, because I'm not sure what's going on the pitch right now.
Do they still think they're in a test lobby? That was absolutely wild. I don't know what has just happened, but they completely broke down. Both teams look to just have their minds collectively shut off. So Khaled sent that back towards his own net. Cash up, looking for a flip reset. He gets it off, but Ahmad there to help Khaled out. He'd found himself in a little bit of an awkward spot. Big dunk off the ceiling from Mike Boys. Cash sends it forward. Demo in the backfield though on Oslon. Rex have to look to keep this offense on, find a way to at the very least allow Oslon just a little bit more time to settle back in. Khaled there on the push. His first minute comes and goes. Haven't had a goal just yet, but Oslon looking to bear down Cash with a shot. Double tap. I thought he'd missed the first one, but by this point I'm not surprised it was a double.
Yeah, really can't be surprised by the caliber of shots we're seeing here. And hey, the caster curse showing its face for the first time here today. You mentioned you wanted to see a goal to get started, and well, you will find 1 minute 4 into this game, and Rick's on top. And well, it doesn't seem like they're all that demotivated after their last loss. They're right back to it again, taking shots on target here. 4 total shots within the first minute and a half here. It's very clear that Ricks are going to be the more offensive team in this game, and I'm wondering if that's actually going to be better for Sandrock. We mentioned how much they need to prioritize their defense more, so if they go into this with a little bit more of a defensive mindset, that might really actually help them out long term.
So it's going to be a case of who can really find the proper way to settle into this one quickest, because again, it's a bit of a grudge match for Rex at the very least, having lost to Sandrock Gaming's hands twice back in September of 2020 in the Nice Cactus Monthlies. Definitely going to want to sort of set the record straight from here. Is Cash looking for that double tap, another touch off the ceiling as well, but this time unable to find the back of the net. Rick's really looking like the two that are really threatening to score again. Sandrock haven't quite had any clear-cut chances so far.
Yeah, no one's really had, I'd say, the clearest of chance so far here. Ricks has had a couple of okay ones, but yeah, Sandrock have not really had a single one. There's one. Good demo in front of the net, gives O'Callaghan his first real shot of this game, and now all of a sudden, Sandrock gonna have to go back to the drawing board, though. They are struggling to find something that actually threatens this defense, and maybe this is the one. O'Callaghan has the angle, but Mike Boy has the save. A bump on Ocelon will not allow for the quickest transition, but Mike will still get one together nonetheless, and I think they might even get a goal. No, not if O'Callaghan has anything to say about it. O'Callaghan, I mean, this really shouldn't be that surprising. He's been the highlight player for SRG so far here today. He's really done a great job on especially defense, and in a game where defense has not been prioritized to the degree I think it should be. Him stepping up for his team is doing massive things for their momentum and their chances of winning this series.
They can just keep it close. Anything is possible. I watched Rex right throughout the grid of the spring split, and if anyone comes under fire with a narrow lead, it is Rex. I've seen him give away a lot of goals and a lot of games in positions like this. When they get those big leads going, they get a couple of goals very quickly, they can really look to run away with games, but it's these narrow ones that you're just never quite sure they can find the way to close them out.
Yeah, it's always very difficult, but if any team is, and this sounds kind of wrong to say, but if any team's going to choke this away, my oh my, it's apparently not Sandrock right now as they are making some phenomenal saves, and Mike Boy is missing the shot, but I was going to say, Sandrock were up either 3-1 or 3-0 in their last series, and then ended up having that game go to overtime. They did win it, but I don't want to say that Sandrock necessarily have lockdown defense that doesn't allow for comebacks, so maybe that'll be to the benefit of Ricks here. We're going to have to find out. 45 seconds left in this game, and Sandrock still have yet to get on the board here. Maybe they can get something done here at the end of the game, but they are struggling to find an efficient offense. They've had a couple of shots here, but really nothing that special. Like you said, the opportunities haven't been that clear. How about this one, though? Cash, though, going to get in the way, not going to even allow it. And once again, what should have been a very clear-cut opportunity for Sandrock doesn't even turn into a shot at all.
That's something they're going to have to change going forward in this series. Cash, the big touch into the air. Sandrock, one last real chance here. Keep offense on, find a goal. But Cash has slowed that right down. Massive clear over the halfway line. Sandrock will have to keep this up from now. Senzo launches high. Ocelon's on the backboard. Mike had gone up. Cash next to try and kill it down. He's almost got that shot on. Rex will take a narrow win in game number 1. You could say it was relatively comfortable. I don't think Sandrock particularly threatened them in any real capacity, but I think the issue for Sandrock right now is leaving Cash with so much space and time to do virtually whatever he wants with the ball.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is that he's really getting a lot of time to make these more intricate plays. That final shot was absolutely wild. It may not have gone on target, but hey, at least it was a shot that looks pretty impressive, and that's going to do more than just a couple of things. It's going to, A, show that you can score from any angle, and B, it's going to now plant that into your opponent's mind. Sandrock now have to be careful. If Cash is able to take shots like that from pretty much anywhere on the pitch, they've got to be prepared on defense at almost every single moment, and really, this game should be evidence enough of that. 9 saves for Sandrock Gaming. They really had to be in front of their net almost that entire game, because with 12 shots from Rix, they were unrelenting on offense, almost double their opponents at 7 from Sandrock. So Rix right now definitely on top. For a team that we said was coming into this one probably the underdogs, they're doing a great job of proving us incredibly wrong, and I'll be honest, I am okay with that. If we get a great back and forth series, I don't care if my prediction goes out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I say, I've seen it time and time again. Rix is never a team that you can watch with, just this calm sort of manner to you the whole time. It's always just on the edge of your seat stuff, and it's hard to support. I will say that much, because they really do like to just it's the similar sort of thing as Team Endpoint. They just don't quite get the same light as Endpoint maybe do, but they find ways to break your heart in ways that you don't think is quite possible.
It is hard to support coming from the caster that casted them on the grid. Tough words to eat here, as Rix are still up 1-0. They're going to do their best to prove you wrong here, Solar, as they want to try and take the series and give themselves a positive record, or actually go 50-50 on the day. 40 seconds into this one, though, and it looks like the first real shot will come for Sandrock Gaming here. They do not score as Ocelon gets in the way. But again, not really that surprising. The biggest issues for Sandrock have been their offense. Their defense, surprisingly enough, has actually gotten pretty solid. They just now need to start taking some more effective shots, get something to drop into the back of the net, and clear up this drought which you've had now for which is going on basically 2 games.
Yeah, very much so, especially if you come off the back of that final game, German Amigos, where Sandrock couldn't just get a ball in the back of the net in game number 4, shut out in game 1 here against Rix as well. So we're coming up on 11.5 minutes now, that Sandrock goal. As long as they don't let that get into their heads, they may still be fine. As Stenzo on the follow-up, Cash quick to shut down. It's another overcommit here. Mike Boy has a shooting opportunity. Khaled gets back to make the save. Also on there just to keep the ball in Sandrock's half. Cash, good shot on Ahmad. Rotates back pretty well just to make sure he gets that one clear. Cash again finds himself with space and time up onto the backboard. Khaled up early. And just get onto the ceiling as well. Might get a dunk in here on Ocelon. Sandrock have actually seemed to clean up their defense a lot more in this series than what they showed for long stretches of the series against German Amigos.
They've definitely... Oh, well, okay. Maybe we shouldn't be complimenting them right that moment. That was not the greatest play we've ever seen. Ahmad goes flying into that one, and Senzo... Oh, he gets bumped out of the way! I actually thought he had just completely whiffed on the backboard, but no, it was Cash getting involved there, and never mind Rix with a very impressive play on offense that just kind of slipped by me there. I'll be 100% Solar. I did not even notice that bump.
It was right out the corner of our views, but I did quite catch it there. Senzo sent away, and Cash just opening the doors there for the opener from Mike Boy in game number 2. It's 2 without reply so far in this series. Sandrock Gaming need to find a way through again. I think they have been better on defense, but just that little bit too much time allowed to Cash. Maybe that little bit too much respect for him as well. I will say it before I say it again, I've seen what he can do, and if anyone can turn a series on its head with just a moment of brilliance, it is indeed the Englishman in Cash. As he's up again, looking for a 50-50. 2 players had commit. Ahmad there to get back, and it's this sort of queso-style defense at the moment from Sandrock, where as long as someone makes the touch, they're not overly fussed, and we will end up in a 2v2. Call it what you want. It will be a game of doubles for the time being, with Cash out of the game, along with Ahmad. Two arguably very, very flashy players in this series.
Yeah, very flashy, but I will say I feel like Cash is just a tad more influential for his team. You're mentioning someone who can turn the game on its head. They're mentioning someone who can just all of a sudden pop off out of nowhere and really influence the game. I'm going to put O'Khaled as that player. Right now, he hasn't necessarily dazzled me too much in this series. Last series, he really was the highlight player. Now he's got to prove it again, though. Finally does get a real shot on the board. 2v2 scenario, something I know that Khaled is familiar with. Question is whether or not they can actually take advantage of said scenario and tie up this game. It's the same score line as game number 1 here, Solar. The question is, does Sandrock finally find themselves their first goal? They're struggling to do so here, and this is not a great position. Ocelot now going to have a 2v1, but he's at least starting up the offense here for Rix, and all Rix need to do is just delay this game. They do not need to score another goal. They just need to waste time and get this clock ticking down as far as they can. As Mike gets a good pass, I think he's going to do exactly that. Goes to the air, tries to get past O'Khaled, but can't quite do so. 24 seconds left. One more offense. Can they do this? Sandrock Gaming want the shot, but they will not find it. O'Khaled plays a little bit hesitantly out in the midfield. And unfortunately, that might spell doom as there's not enough time left to be wasted. 10 seconds left. One last offense. O'Khaled goes up. He's got boost in the tank, but he's also got Mike Boy in the way. That bump will be enough, and no such shot. Oh, wait! Senzo rips one on, but Cash will be there. And after he gets out of his 1v1, he will go right back to defense, save the game, and Rix will take it 1-0.
Oh, I think that's a little bit controversial. Cash has said sorry in chat. I think if anyone pulled out of that Rule 2, yes, I am of that belief. I think it was Cash. I don't think Ahmad is going to be in any sort of apology if it wasn't him. Ooh, that's interesting, because again, that's going top corner from Senzo, and if Cash isn't there, the question is Mike Boy or is Ocelot going to be there for that?
Yeah, that's the biggest question is this going to be one of these things where had that Rule 1, as I'm going to call it, because no, it's not Rule 2, had that Rule 1 been broken up, that really wouldn't, or excuse me, hadn't been broken up, would that play still have been the same way? The truth of the matter is no, I don't think so. I think actually we'd be in an overtime right now, but hey, honestly, I'm not one for breaking up those type of scenarios, but if you're going to do it, you better do it for a good reason. Cash apparently had a good enough reason. Saving the game, I think, is a pretty valid one. So, game number 3 we go. This is an intense back and forth. Sandrock Gaming at this point need to win. Once again, this is the same scenario they were in their last series. They were down 2-0. Last time they took a win against their opponents. Can they do it again here? It has been an uphill battle all day for Sandrock here, Solar, but the question is, do they ever find their peak and climb all the way up?
The question that we're waiting to see answered is Mike Boy with time on the ball. Fakes round 1, can't get past the second. Ocelot with a shot on, but Khaled using the backboard to his advantage. Keeps his flip, makes the save. Cash, that is sensational aerial control. Dribbles it clean over the top of Sandrock Gaming and gives Rix the lead.
Oh my word, that is the Cash that you have been speaking about all day. This is absolutely unreal. Again, Rix came into this one the underdog in our opinions, not only because Sandrock had taken their previous matchups, but because of the fact that they had come off a heartbreaking loss in overtime. We thought they might be a little deflated. We thought that they might not necessarily have the motivation necessary. Apparently, that loss was the motivation necessary. A fire was lit underneath them, and their anger has fueled them into a lead here in game number 3 while they are up 2-0 on the series. Sandrock, we're back to the same scenario as last time. It is up to you guys to tie this one up and keep this dream alive. It's not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination, especially with how well Rix are playing, but you've got time to do so. 4 minutes left here, and if this is the game to show, or if there is a game to show your skills, this is the one! But shots like that will not be enough. Mike Boy with the save, and Sandrock gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
Now a total of 11 minutes in this series without a goal from Sandrock Gaming, and a total of 16 minutes without a goal. I've almost cursed it again there. I'm going to stop talking about things like that, but there is a chance here, and Khaled has hit the near post and seen it come back out. Sandrock Gaming, it's just not happening for them at the minute. Rix, so far set for a perfect sweep here in the second round of matches of the group stage of the BS Plus Competition Invitational, because Sandrock Gaming cannot buy themselves a goal for love nor money.
Yeah, they really are doing everything they can to just get some sort of goal here, but accuracy issues been plaguing them. The effectiveness of their shots has been plaguing them. Pretty much everything that could be going wrong is going wrong for Sandrock right now. And it's an absolute shame because, I mean, I know we've reiterated this more times today than we can probably count, but Sandrock are one of those teams, they have the highest of ceilings, meaning they can play to the best of the best, but they also, unfortunately, truly do have the lowest of lows sometimes. They struggle to try and keep up with certain teams if they are not playing to their best performance, and unfortunately, they are doing that right now. They are not getting as many shots as necessary. They are not making the saves necessary, and considering that they are about halfway through this game without a goal, actually, they are halfway through this final game, possibly of the series, and they haven't gotten a goal all series. This is not a place they want to be here. This is unfortunate. Sandrock have got to try and recover quick. 2 minutes left here. Maybe they can get something on the board, but it's not only that they have to get something on the board here. They need to not only tie this up, they need to win after they tie this up.
1 minute 45 remaining on the clock. Sandrock Gaming slowly but surely running out of time. Sand falling through that timer. Mike Boy with a clear off to his right hand side. Can't get the read on that bounce though. Ahmad looking for the double. It's wide of the mark. Senzo on the follow-up. It will come for Sandrock Gaming. It is taken all of 13 and a half minutes, but they have their goal against Rex and they have an equalizer.
Wow, when you put it that way, that is actually beyond mind-blowing. 13 and a half minutes it took for Sandrock to get their first goal of this entire series. Minute 30 left here, and the unfortunate truth is, like I said, they not only have to get that first goal, they've now got to get a second one. They've got to keep going. They've got to keep this momentum in their favor, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do so. That is going to be a difficult task ahead of them. They not only need to get their first goal of the series, they need to now double that here in this last minute. Otherwise, they go to overtime, and, well, I hate to say it, but Rix, you guys don't necessarily have the greatest record in overtime. It's clear you can withstand a pretty long one, but the question is can you win it when it comes down to it? Maybe you can just avoid overtime altogether, because here come Rix trying to start up their own offense. This one into the air, no one there. Khaled actually just gives it to Mike Boy. This is free. Open net, someone slam it home. Cash will do exactly that. 44 seconds left, and Rix are back on top.
Not that I want to say anything, but Spring Split Regional 3, Rix overtimes and BS Plus competition. That was record breaking. It was Rix to come out on top of that one, so it's not all doom and gloom for them when it goes long, but they've got another goal in regulation, and it's again on Sandrock Gaming to find an answer, to find a goal, and ultimately two, in fact, to not see themselves swept in the series. It's not a perfect sweep for Rex, but it is 25 seconds away from a sweep nonetheless. Mike Boy up. Khaled with a block just to keep pressure on. A bump. It's a demo. In fact, Ahmad with a 50-50, but Mike Boy gets back. Oslam with a 50-50. There's pandemonium in the Rex half, but finally they will get it clear. Cash with time slows it down. Rick's just wasting away the clock, and it has to stay up. It has to go away from there. It will not. And Rick's secure it with 0 seconds left.
Like you said, they were one goal away from keeping this a perfect sweep. I don't know if I've ever seen that in Rocket League. I've heard of the fabled occurrence, but it will not happen here today. But a 3-0 in favor of Rix is beyond good enough. They moved to 4-3 now. That's right. They took a loss in their first series, so tying up their day, going 1-1 overall. Rix with a very impressive win here, to put it simply, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Sandrock Gaming were a team that, like we said, at the highest of highs, they are difficult to stop. If you can cut their momentum early, if you can get them out of the way, they are a team that is vital to do so. So well done to Rix.GG there. Sandrock Gaming going to take their second loss of the day, and Solar, it's not looking great for Sandrock at this point. They were the team that came in here, not necessarily the favorites, but they were pretty high up there. It just depended on what type of team we were going to see, and unfortunately, we did not see the Sandrock that we know they can be.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly a complete performance from them when they got forward. They weren't finding each other very well. There's no sort of use of the infield passing sort of style that we're used to seeing from them. Not as much individuality either. I think they're being shut down pretty quickly in that regard. And anytime they did opt to use the backboard bumps and demos, Rex were just able to match that. They dealt with it, and Sandrock Gaming just didn't try and adapt to that. And as I say, we haven't seen that sort of trademark Sandrock offense that they love to show off when they get the chance.
Yeah, they've really had a lot of difficulty finding that flow on offense that we know them so well for. And part of that is I think it's the first series of the day really threw them off. I had mentioned this previously when casting Sandrock. They are the fastest team I've ever seen play. It is bar none. They are so quick when they move around the field. The only region that I would say compares South America professional play, which I've had the pleasure casting. The difference is that they feel a little bit more mechanical than some of those teams. And I say some because, oh boy, there's some good South American teams. But that being said, they never found that today. They really couldn't get that flow together against German Amigos because German Amigos were matching their pace really well. And then after German Amigos took a win on them, they never found that pace in this series at all. Ricks really never let them get into that pace, to be fair. But yeah, they really did struggle on their offense, and I think that's going to be a huge, huge downfall of them if they can't figure that out here in their third series of the day. But like I said, this is the last series of the day we're coming up upon. It is going to be German Amigos versus Ricks. It is the two teams that have taken wins here today. And I'm not sure if we have any information upon the other series. Last time our producer was letting us know that that series has been continuing, but oh boy, nope, looks like it's a similar result. German Amigos taking a 3-0 sweep over White Demons. My oh my. German Amigos 6-1 on the day. Solar, they are killing it in this competition right now.
Massively. Game 2 as well with a Brazil over White Demons there. Game 1 was a 1-0 win. Game 3, a minute into overtime, 4-3 for German Amigos. Yeah, they've come out hot. I think they were very, very strong against Sandrock Gaming. And Rex, again, have got a point to prove here against German Amigos, who are so far running away with Group B. So I think we're in for a very interesting final series.
I think we are indeed. And listen, I don't want to say that I'm cheering for Rex here, but after being the underdog coming into this one, the team that we really didn't know what they were going to be able to do, if they finish at 2-1 top of the table, oh my word, would that be a heck of a turnaround for them. But we're going to have to find out. We're going to go to another quick break here, get everything set up, but when we return, our final matchup of the day, Ricks versus German Amigos. You guys are not going to want to miss this. It is slated to be a classic, and we will find out right after this break.
Somehow I lost you on the way. I assumed you left me behind. Lifeless days and sleepless nights, so tired of it. I can't get you off my mind, can't forget it. Now I know what I've got to do is find my way back to you. Hey, why did it take us so long? Hey, while I was dancing on my own. Hey, and now my prayers get answered in my darkest time. 'Cause now I found you.
If I changed everything, the way I walk, the way I breathe, will my fate shift into the night? But here I am, same old thing, sinking deep, no ecstasy. Reality haunts the living mind. If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, where you going? Won't be as simple for you. Time won't change anything if I don't know how to breathe. The current that pushed against the tide. Maybe once, maybe twice, I turned around to save the time. Now I know how to leave the side. If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Can I leave it all behind? Follow all the leading signs. When the dark is growing and the light is closing in, darling, where you going? Won't be as simple for you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the BS Plus Competition Invitational. My name is BS+COMPETITION, and for the last time today, I introduce my fantastic co-caster in Solar. We have had two series here today, which have been absolute bangers. One has been a 3-1. Another one was a sweep for the underdog in that matchup. But now that underdog has got to try and take down the top dog here. German Amigos are currently 2-0 on the day. Ricks come in at 1-1, but with a lot of momentum on their side. This is going to be an interesting battle. It is our last one of the day. It determines who goes 2-1 or who possibly goes 3-0. I am so excited for this one. How are you feeling going into this final matchup?
Yeah, it's a big one. It's the top of the group clash, and it's going to decide really, ultimately, I think who plays BS Plus and who plays SK Gaming, so that could be massive in the end for who comes out on top. Sandrock Gaming and White Demons are fighting for their lives down at the bottom there. Not that they're, of course, being eliminated, but this is going to be a big, big game coming up. And only one of these two teams can come out on top. That is how the nature of Rocket League works, or any esport really, I suppose. It's not exactly a groundbreaking statement I've made there, but Ricks have it more to do than German Amigos. I think German Amigos have done a lot of the work that they need to already, whereas Ricks has lost to White Demons, including a 13-minute OT is definitely a hard one to take, but what's this goal? What is that?
It's a way to start off the series, I'll tell you what. Rick's up by 1 here, 24 seconds in. Big old question mark kind of just being left up on the table now. Not exactly sure what just happened, but hey, listen, the game must go on, and like you said, there can only be one winner. Doesn't matter how you get to that winner circle as long as you are in it when time runs out. 35 seconds into this one, Ricks are up by 1, but German Amigos look poised to try and get an offense together here, or maybe not. Everybody is waiting back. Cash given free space once again, and that is not the player you want to give space to. Cash has been popping off all day, and if you start giving him the opportunity to stunt on your team, he's going to do exactly that. He's also going to bully the goalie. What is going on right now in this first game?
Mike just breaks in front of, I think it was Catalysm in net there, and just starts shuffling about so that when the shot comes in from Oslon, Catalysm's got to go through Mike before he's getting anywhere near that. And again, there's this dynamic that goes on with Rex. Cash is naturally the flashiest player in here. Oslon can do his bit as well when it comes to that, but he's generally the sort of man who connects everything together. And Mike Boy just loves a bump, loves a demo, and loves an open net as well. It's the strangest dynamic, but when it works, it is some of the most entertaining Rocket League I think I've ever watched.
It truly is, and I'm going to hope that this is probably a saying somewhere in EU as well, but we've got one in NA. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, hey, you know what? If it works, it works. At the end of the day, Bricks is up by 1 right now. They are continuing to dazzle here after, like we said, they came into this one seemingly the underdogs, considering the fact that they were 1-1 on the day, considering the fact that German Amigos just took a sweep against their last opponents after going 3-1. Really is one of these things where Rick's even being on top here in this first game is absolutely monumental. It will give them so much momentum going into the rest of this series if they can win this game. But again, I say if. There's over half this game remaining, and German Amigos are looking to strike right here, right now. Rizek's off the backboard. Catalysm has the follow-up, but Cash has the save. Rick's going to stand tall on defense just as well as their offense has done this entire game. Okay, bad time to compliment the offense as Cash misses that shot.
It's always something with these Ricks boys, but they have a 1-goal lead. Demo from Rizek and Oslon, Mike Boy forcing to save Cash. Not a lot of boost in the tank. Does enough to help it along and over the halfway line, and Oslon there just to send it right down onto German Amigos' backboard. Catalyst has to be quick to that one. A little bit too slow, but Rizek's in a dangerous spot. Hits the ceiling with a touch. Ivan unable to turn that one on target. Cash can't work that one clear either. Catalysm slowing it down. Round 1, but Oslon off the backboard to make the save, and Ricks will hold on to their lead.
I gotta say, Ricks has dazzled me on the back half so far here today. They haven't necessarily had some life, breathtaking saves where they just kind of continue their game and just all of a sudden make an absolutely incredible save. It's more just their overall presence on defense has been pretty fantastic. If someone's going for a challenge, you almost know that someone's going to be there to back them up. The rotations that Ricks are showing on defense right now are absolutely phenomenal. This is exactly how they're supposed to be rotating when it comes to their back half. And the unfortunate truth for German is that they need a way for these guys to break down. If they want a chance to get through this defense here, they need to try and force them into awkward positions, make this as difficult as possible for Ricks to keep their defensive prowess, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Cash getting in the way there has now completely shut down that offense altogether, and German Amigos are forced back into their own half where they've got to restart once again. It's got to be frustrating, and oh my word, has that got to be frustrating as well. If you can't get them to break up their defense, you can at least bump them out of the play altogether. Cash just gets interrupted here, and it's a freebie for Ivan.
Yeah, it's a really smart play there from Rizix just to make it so soft. Cash has to jump high. Ivan shoots low. German Amigos have the equalizer. Brilliantly done. Brilliantly executed. But look at Oslon carrying this one forward. Mike Boy is not going to have the angle to shoot. And Rex have to start their offense over again. But not before German Amigos will have their own little pop at it. Oslon to clear from the backboard. A little bit of an awkward 50-50 in the midfield, but Mike Boy will help it on its way. Rizix has made a meal of that, and Mike Boy hitting the crossbar and the post with one shot. Cannot find the lead again for Rex, as this may be one for German Amigos.
Uh-oh, Rix, after holding on to the lead for a significant portion of this game, has now just given up 2 goals in a row, and for the first time in quite some time, the disorganization we see on the back half has costed them dearly. So far, they've held up pretty well when it comes to their defense, but right then, right there is not the time to break down, because now you've got 15 seconds to try and tie this one up. This one's just going to dawdle out in midfield. No one going to go for this. This is not the time to waste. Cash finally does make a touch, but Rizix is more than prepared on the back end. I'm going to be honest, German Amigos, if they end up winning this one, they were just gifted the end of this game. Rix just did not hustle to the ball nearly enough, left that one floating out of midfield, and German Amigos get lucky and walk away with game number 1.
Yeah, bizarre ending to that one. It's like I mentioned in the Sandrock series. Rex have a habit of getting sort of a go-ahead goal, not really building on it terribly more. They can hold tight pretty well for lengthy periods, but a lot of the time not getting a second goal really starts to plague them, and teams can fight their way back in. German Amigos take game number 1 with Rex on top for 4 minutes of that game.
Yeah, that was mostly Rix in control of that game. So for German Amigos to somehow just turn that on its head and spin that around, I mean, are we really expecting much else? To be honest, German Amigos have been dominating all day. They've been doing this against every single team. So maybe it's our mistake for just thinking that they were out of that game whatsoever. Rix definitely isn't out of this series, though. I can guarantee you of that. Again, I think this really is slated to be the closest game we see all day on this stream. Game number 5 would not be that surprising, but first they've got to get game number 2 under their belt. Rick's down by 1 here, and they are on their defense already. But a good touch from Cash actually should get this one to midfield where no one is waiting. Cash somehow follows up his own touch despite having 2 defenders behind him that should have rushed to the ball. Ricks right now, this is not the time to take yourselves out of this one mentally. You have got to stay tough here. If you start getting hesitant and second-guessing yourself, it is going to be the downfall of your team.
Very mentality-based team, Rex. When things are going good, the confidence really flows, and it's so visible in the way they play. But once things start falling apart a little bit, they can really go down at hill quickly. 0-0 still the scoreline with a minute gone in game 2, but both teams just a little bit, I'm not even sure what to call this. This isn't exactly clinical Rocket League, but German Amigos have a lead.
Yeah, that is the furthest thing from good defense that I have seen so far from Rex there. That is absolutely unfortunate. Like I said, I was complimentary of their defense before because it had done well, but when you have Mike Boy in the weirdest position I've ever seen on the backboard trying to challenge, while you also, I believe, have, I think it was Ocelon challenging from the net, double commitment, leaving themselves exposed, and all of a sudden that coordination that we'd been so complimentary of has now just gone out the window. Ricks have got to try and settle down here. They can't start panicking and changing up their plays. Similarly, though, they need to put shots on target. If you're going to have an opportunity like that, at least rip one on net. Doesn't matter if it's cleared out, at least give the threat, because German Amigos so far have not felt threatened whatsoever by this Rick's offense. Maybe this one, no, again, off the backboard, and Rizex is more than there and more than prepared. Matter of fact, he's going to actually try and take this one the other way. Instead, out to Catalysm, out at midfield, but here comes German Amigos, starting another offense here. They're doing such a good job of shutting down and controlling the pace of play here. Ricks have got to get themselves back into it. I don't know if it's a good goal, a great save, or something, but they need a motivational booster right here and right now.
Hoping for maybe just a lucky break at this point. German Amigos know what Cash can do. They're not going to give him the space and time to display his mechanical ability and take things on himself. It's going to have to be complete team performance here from Ricks in game 2. They want to get back into this one, down by a goal. As Rizex takes that down off the corner, leaves that for Cash, but no follow-up from Rix. Slow Ocelon with the flip reset. Rizex again on the backboard just to make that save. German Amigos so well positioned so often to deal with what Rix have had to throw at them. And they will clear this one out for the time being. Ocelot can't force it past first man, and Ivan does so at the second time, asking the two players commit. Cash for the shot on, easily dealt with by Rizex once more. He's been a stalwart in defense for German Amigos for the most part of today. Can't say he's really put a foot wrong. But it's Cash again, has this under control. Air dribble, he gets bumped into it, and that will put it clear of the net. And Rizex just about recovers. Mike Boy from the infield pass to the shot, and again turned away by Catalysm.
My oh my, German Amigos, more specifically Catalysm, has just been on the line and prepared every single time. This is the issue for Rix right now. They are starting to get shots on target. They are definitely playing a lot better than in the first game, but the issue is that they still need a shot to hit the back of the net. When they're taking standard shots like this, it's not surprising the German Amigos in any way, shape, or form. Both these teams have gone through 2 series today, so they've seen the entire handbook thrown at them. Now you got to take something outside the handbook. Think outside the box. Give them a shot they aren't expecting and surprise them out of nowhere like the shot Catalysm just took. Mike Boy is able to get back and recover in time, but again, that's the exposure, the vulnerability we just haven't seen out of this German Amigos team yet.
There's not really been any gaps where you think, oh, is that person going to get there? Are they going to make that save? There's always someone there from German Amigos in plenty of time to do the necessary duty. Get the clear, make the save. Just any form of touch just to shut down Rix as much. And as Rix are forcing for this equalizer, they're just being caught out a little bit on the counter-attack. German Amigos ultimately unlucky to not extend their lead. They've done enough to maintain it at the very least. It's either looking for a doomsday dish, but Cash just gets a little nick on it to take it away from him. Catalysm has made a meal of this though. Ivan there to bail him out with 15 seconds left. Rix running out of time in game 2. Mike Boy tries to force it through. Ocelon has to push this one to commit in the corner. Rizex again there just to sweep up, doing his duties. And it's close, but German Amigos go 2-0 up in the series.
Uh-oh, this isn't looking good for Rix at this point. They're looking down the barrel. They're looking at a 3-0 sweep here. That is not what we were hoping for. German Amigos, like we said, they're a very good team, but we were expecting more of a fight out of Rix here to give it a close series. We really do know that Rix, if they just change some of these issues we've seen on defense, get a little bit more lethal with their offense, they can really do something special. But part of the thing that we're also starting to lack with Rix, which is something that I think that they did a really good job of in their previous series, is overwhelming offensive pressure. It feels like right now Rix are trying to set up a shot, they take a shot, and then they immediately retreat back into defense and try and restart all over again. I want to see that midfield presence again. I want to see them overwhelming their opponents, just taking shot after shot after shot after shot, an onslaught of shots, a barrage of them going at their goal. They may not necessarily have all those shots go in, but eventually something's got to drop. So if they can get that pressure together again, I think that we see a game number 4 at minimum, but might be getting ahead of myself. Game number 3 is underway. It is do or die for Rix right now. They don't win this one, they get swept, and German Amigos would love a sweep because that guarantees them the 3-0 on the day, making them the only team to go 3-0 in the entire competition if they do so.
I mean, what would you expect the German Amigos anyway? They came in pretty anonymously when it started with the spring split, but as soon as they got going in the grid, everyone sort of started to turn their heads, take notice of this team. They've just brought the level up from there. They've set the bar at times for other teams. They're still holding on in this one. 0-0 the scoreline though. 2-0 up in the series. Commanding position to be in, but Rix are not going to want to go quietly into the night. So again, look where Rizex is. Look how early he is on the backboard. He's not actually dealt with that one though. That somehow found its way down on the line and up into the crossbar. But Rizex was on that backboard so early. Cash still playing it up there. And it's just having someone ready to deal with it. It has made German Amigos so hard to break down.
That's by far the most difficult part here, is that German Amigos just seem to be in the right place at the right time every single time. It has been so difficult to see vulnerability out of this team, and that's the unfortunate truth, is that also when we do see the vulnerability, like that lack there of a touch on the backboard that just waterfalls in front of the goal, Bricks have now gotten a little bit too demotivated. Usually you would see a team kind of jumping at an opportunity like that, but they're second-guessing themselves. They are hesitating on opportunities like that because they don't want to get exposed and don't want to give up yet another goal to their opponents. And I'm going to be honest, at this point, it's time to throw everything but the kitchen sink at your opponents, Ricks. I know it's going to be risky. I know it's going to feel unnatural, but you've got to get something to drop here, right now. If you do not get some momentum in your favors, you guys are looking at a 3-0 sweep, and a likely one, in my opinion. So do what you can, throw everything, take a risk, and see if it pays off. Because German Amigos, they are coming close to striking on multiple occasions, and if they do, they might just take the series.
Almost like one of those, you know, coin machines at the arcade where you just keep funneling money in, and eventually all those coins hanging over the edge will shift. How much money can you afford to spend before it gets more of a loss than a win? And Ricks just have to teeter on the edge themselves, make sure they're balancing it correctly, and hopefully finding the opening goal for themselves in game number 3. German Amigos just playing right into their hands. They can smash and grab, snatch a goal, and Ivan will do just that. German Amigos up by a goal with just under 2 minutes to go.
Oh, it's not boding well for Ricks right now. Unfortunately, leaving themselves vulnerable at the wrong moment. Aslan tries to dive in there and get some sort of save, but just can't get enough of a touch. And German Amigos, you are 2 minutes away, 120 seconds from taking this game and then taking the series. But you're going to have to focus on your kickoffs if you want to get there. Ricks finally get on the board, and it may not have been the greatest goal, but it's a goal nonetheless, and it's momentum they desperately needed.
Bizarre one, and not one that we're used to seeing German Amigos give up. It's the lucky break that Ricks will have been looking for, and this may well kick start their series here as Mightboy gets up high enough. Rizex doesn't quite deal with that one, but has time to take control and at least force it as far as the halfway line. Mightboy looking for Cash on his right hand side. Not as good a touch as he was hoping for. Ends up surrendering a little bit of possession. Oslan try to play it slow, maybe a little bit too slow in fact, and Ivan has control on the backboard over the top of Cash. Oslan with a shot on, just high, and Cash unable to turn it on either. Sometime Ricks have to find the back of the net, but that will not be the occasion. 1:10 remaining, we are level. Ricks just looking for a goal, trying not to see overtime. Here's Catalysm, so slow, so patient, and comes up short.
That is the patience that is starting to become the downfall for this Ricks team. They look very flat-footed when it comes to their defense, and it's becoming very awkward for them. It may not have gotten them punished yet, but I do fear that at some point they're going to hesitate on one play that just leaves them too exposed. German Amigos have not slowed down throughout this entire series. They have continued to press the issue time after time again. With 35 seconds left, it's looking like it's overtime here in game number 3. And unfortunately, overtimes have, well, I mean, they've gone both ways. Like you said, Ricks has got the record for overtimes, but they also just lost a 12-minute overtime. So we'll have to see what type of team they are as we get to that overtime scenario. 15 seconds or so left, and there's maybe time for one more good attack. And, uh-oh, it should be in favor of German. No, they're going to have two players on the back end that are actually going to hesitate. Cash is up for this one, should force the issue. Can he get a shot, though? No. Catalysm will deny that, and as Ricks takes this one into the corner, nothing should arrive. Oh, wait a minute, Mightboy actually kept this one up and then just drops it, I guess. 1-1, we go to overtime. Let's do this. Game number 3. It is a chance for Ricks to keep the series alive. It is a chance for German Amigos to sweep this series and go 3-0 on the day. A lot at stake, a lot to play for, and I could not be more excited for this overtime.
Ash with the first opportunity here. Unable to force that one around Rizex. Mightboy into the corner. Catalysm. Mightboy actually got a little touch on that one and nick away just to keep Rex on the offense. Catalysm finally clearing out. A good dunk from Rizix will take any sting off of that touch from Oslon. Cash was left there by my boy. It plays it low. There's a bump in net. And Rex, just 43 seconds in, have their first game of the series.
What? How is that how that goes in? Are you serious? The most awkward goal I've seen all day here, but you know what? Ricks will take it. They got one goal off a kickoff. They got another off of whatever that play was, but through the fire, through the flames, through the smoke, through everything they have seen, they will come out on top here, finally getting a win on the board. And now they just need to do it 2 more times. And I'm going to be honest, if it is that chaotic for the next 2 games, I am more than okay with it. That is a heck of a way to end the day.
Yeah, not your most conventional shot there from Cash at the end. It's a brilliant bump from Oslon, but he still has Catalysm to deal with. Catalysm expects him to go high. He's trying for a ground pinch, but in fact, Poe goes off of the ball and just about kills any momentum, and that just takes Catalysm completely out of the play. They'll take it, as we say, Rick's just needing a little bit of luck on their side. And they've got that 1 game in the bag, 2 more to go to complete the reverse sweep. But it's German Amigos they've got to take down.
It's not an easy team to do so, but you know the saying, as it goes, I'd rather be lucky than skillful. And at the moment, that is kind of what Ricks need right here. They need luck on their side, they need momentum on their side, and they need a chance to keep this series alive. Game number 4 underway. Ricks have finally gotten their first win on the board, and now they look poised to strike again. There's that speed we had been waiting for. The momentum, the confidence is finally there for Ricks and German Amigos. This might be the time that you're thinking to yourselves, uh-oh, we probably should have gotten this done in 3.
The bump again from Oslon, and Mike Boy stays strong. He doesn't panic, he doesn't rush it, and makes sure he squeezes that one home ahead of Ivan. 11 seconds gone in game 4. Ricks have already opened the scoring. It's a lot quicker than some of the other games we've had this series. Is this where Ricks really start to show their flair, show their fight, and show that they can indeed dominate? It's a long game to go. It's a long way to go to that reverse sweep. They've taken that first big step. They're taking a few smaller ones along the way here just to make it that little bit easier on them.
Yeah, they're taking the small steps. They're taking every step that they can here. They are just trying to make sure they place their foot right in front of the other and do not stumble. Oh, and that is not a stumble at all. That is an absolute leap into the winner's circle here. Cash going to get credited with the goal, but this was all Ocelon. Look at this touch out of the corner. Perfectly pops it around Catalysm. And Ricks, after struggling to find goals, have found 2 within the first minute here in game number 4.
Again, it's just that little bit of pace. They've just stepped it up there, Ricks, to make sure that they can get a cushion that we've not really seen them have so far today. They couldn't really find those sort of big leads against Sandrock. And we haven't seen any big leads in this series either. All 3 games so far settled by just the 1 goal. 2-1 in game 1 in favour of German Amigos. 1-0 then in game 2 for them as well. But Ivan has brought it back, and again, we've got that 1 goal deficit.
I mean, listen, I can say that Mike Boy and Ocelon, one of the 2 of them should have gone up for that shot, but at the same time, I don't think anybody on the pitch expected Ivan to get that much power from that angle. That's a heck of a way to get yourself back into the game, and German Amigos, you needed to get back into this game, because 2 goals within a minute is a terrible way to start. And now that you've cut that lead in half, you finally have a chance to try and play your own game. Not if you get bumped out of the way, though. Cash in a 1v1 here. Ivan has to make the save, and Catalysm will make the clear as well. Counterattacking opportunity, but can they do anything with it? No, cleared out, and now we get into this match of ping-pong here where they're just kind of smacking it back and forth across this pitch. Haven't really seen this here today, to be honest. This is something that you don't really see all that often at a professional level, but it does happen on occasion, and when it does happen, usually the way that it stops is a banger of a goal that comes out of nowhere.
Lots of back and forth, no one really taking particular control of the ball. Ivan finally doing so, but Rizix has double committed on that one. It's going to be a race between Catalysm and Cash, and judging by that, Catalysm does win. Cash got there first. Catalysm got enough on the ball to stop that heading goal bound. Lovely infield pass, but can't send it back the way Cash. Just try to force past Rizex, being a complete and utter nuisance there, shutting that down. Mike Boy up into an air dribble. Catalysm was up early and gets the block in, and now it's German Amigos' chance to push forward as Catalysm goes up for the shot, and Cash there to make the save. It's a whiff from Mike Boy. It puts Oslo in an awkward spot now, and now it's Cash's turn to take the lead on the defense. Finally, Ricks get it out. Some little awkward spells there for them.
We're going to hope that they don't fall back into those awkward phases. That was, in my opinion, the #1 reason that we saw their downfall in the last couple of games was just they got into these awkward positions, didn't know how to recover, and then panicked from there on out. And that panic started to set into almost everything they did. So German Amigos right now need to take advantage of said panic, and they also need to make sure they don't get scored upon here. Cash in a 1v1. Can't get past the first, but Mike Boy can. The pass out to him, and 3-1. Ricks are looking for a game number 5, and if they can hold on for another 100 seconds, they will force it.
Brilliant play from Cash, but it's an overextension there from German Amigos. Rizex and Ivan committing to the same ball, leaving poor Catalysm all by himself at the mercy of Cash, and there was only one way it was going to go. As Mike Boy looking for a ceiling shot, set this up. Oslon opts to go high, but Cash with no follow-up there, probably pretty intelligently making that decision to stay back. Really, I would have expected Ocelon to just go for the shot in the end. Did he get it wrong, or did he make the wrong decision? We will never know. But Rex have this 2-goal lead. They're going to want to hold on to it slightly better than they did earlier on. Well, they've restored it, of course. They were 2-0 up. German Amigos got one back, and from there it seems to have been all Rex. We've seen them throw away this kind of lead before, as anyone who is a fan of the team and has watched them many times over the past few months may well remember and know. A little bit of pain and maybe holding back a couple tears, but they're looking to force game 5 here.
They're looking like they are going to get that game number 5. If they can hold on for another 30 seconds, they will avoid that tragic comeback that German Amigos know they can have. But again, we're getting ahead of ourselves with 24 seconds left. There is technically time left, but not if German Amigos just completely abandon defense. Cash going to put in a 4th. And indeed, we go to game number 5 here. Ricks, after going down 0-2 on the series, looking like they had no momentum in their favor, found a lone kickoff goal in game number 3 that propelled them to victory, and then took them to a 2-0 start here in game number 4, which then ended up in a 4-1. The turnaround out of Ricks here is beyond comprehension for myself, to be honest. I am beyond dazzled. I am amazed at what we are seeing out of Ricks right now, and I cannot wait for this game number 5. We knew this one would be close. We didn't know exactly how close it would be. Ricks are aiming for that reverse sweep. German Amigos aiming for the 3-0 on the day. Either way, both of these teams have something special to play for. This is going to be a heck of a final match.
First game 5 of the day coming up. The momentum firmly with Rex looking for that reverse sweep, forcing game 5 in a slightly more dominating fashion than we've seen out of them all day. 4-1 win there in game number 5 and game number 4, moving into game 5. Sandrock Gaming currently 2-1 up on White Demons as well. We've not had a report on how game 4 for them is going. You do want to keep an eye on both series as they go on. It is the multi-command in the chat. Exclamation point multi, I do believe, should bring up both streams for you there. Game 5, Champions Field. And Rex with a chance to set the record straight.
With a chance to try and complete this reverse sweep, take 3 games in a row, something that German Amigos could not do. And now they're probably wishing they had a chance to finish off their opponents in game number 3, but let a kickoff goal stir them up a bit too much, and now all of a sudden they are back down to game number 5, where they have got to try and finish out this series, not allow that change of momentum too drastically. But again, what a game this would be if Ricks were able to win this one. After coming into the day, like we said, the underdogs for their group, not sure how they were going to be able to compete against the competition, to then go 2-1, take down the team that was previously 2-0 in their group. It'd be a statement and a half, and it'd be a whole lot of momentum going into tomorrow, where we have got playoffs, the final day of this BS Plus Invitational. I could not be more excited, but I can't be more excited for this one either. Game number 5 is underway, 45 seconds into it. Not a single team has scored yet. So it's looking like this one might just be a little bit closer. Maybe less goals of flying. They're going to have to come in far and few fashion, in spectacular fashion. And Rizek's tried to do exactly that. Can't catch the flip reset, though, and they'll have to go back to the drawing board.
Minute gone, no opening goal. Much like most games of this series, bar game at number 4, where Ricks opened up early on. The goal just 11 seconds in from Mike Boy. Looking very physical going forward, and it's worked out for them as Mike Boy gets a demo here. Ivan just takes control of that ball, flicks it clear, and allows his 2 teammates just to settle back into their rotations. Very well played there. That's what you expect of the pros in Rocket League, so I am less than surprised. It's always satisfying seeing Ocelot has found a gap. He got a demo which seemed clean out of the play, and he's found a goal.
This is wild. That demo on the back half ended up being just completely necessary there. 1-0 in favor of Ricks, and we've got a quick little update to y'all for the other series going on here today. Seems SRG has found their first win of the day, so I'll put it this way. If Ricks end up taking this one, as they currently are looking poised to do so, because they are up 1-0, that'll make this the same as the other half of the group stages. Group A, we didn't have a single team that did not take a win, and we didn't have a single team that went 3-0. If Ricks are able to take this one, we don't have a single team that goes 3-0, and we don't have a single team that didn't take a win. So if you thought this competition was close before, here's even more evidence of how close it really is. And although German Amigos have not scored yet, they look poised to do so, but the shot off the bar, German Amigos trying to keep this game close at minimum, but as I think they let in a freebie, no, it's off target. They are struggling right now to find momentum, especially when Cash can pinch it from the corner. 2-0 in favor of Ricks.
What is this 50-50 from Cash? How does that find its way in? The ball's barely even spinning. That in itself is a rarity. Look at it go. That's ridiculous. 2-0 to Ricks. And it's going to be 3. What is going on? German Amigos have completely fallen apart here. Who was supposed to be on kickoff? Ivan. Static. Possibly a disconnect there.
I don't know what happened. All I can tell you is that it can't happen again. German Amigos, you are down by 3 with just about half the game remaining. This is not the time to start breaking down. This is not the time to start falling apart. You need to show your resilience. You need to show that that game 3 was not something that shook you to your core, because it really does seem like it has. German Amigos look incredibly flustered on the field. They have no idea how to slow this Ricks team down. And to be honest, I don't have many suggestions for you either. Ricks right now look absolutely phenomenal. It is very difficult to try and pinpoint what's going wrong for German Amigos, but I can tell you what's going right. The offense finally clicking at the absolutely perfect time.
3-1 the scoreline. That comfortable Ricks lead just looks a little bit less so. Rizek's a lovely shot on Mike Boy. Not standing a chance as he scrambled across the goal line. But Cash almost finding another one in there. That would have been his hat-trick. But Ivan again just back in time. And for the most part, as we said, German Amigos always in the right place at the right time in defense. But as this series has gone on, it looks like some form of just tiredness is set in. They're lethargic. They're just not quite getting there anymore. Ricks have a lead, but can they hold on to it one more time?
Yeah, that mental fatigue truly is something that starts to plague teams. I'm surprised to see it out of German Amigos, a team who really is, I'd say, used to playing at this level for extended periods of time. And, okay, there we go. They're not necessarily too out of this one. And more specifically, Rizek's is really not out of this one. It's a great pass from Catalysm. Don't want to take anything away from it. But with 2 defenders in front of him, that had to be a perfect slot out of Rizek's. And maybe that mental fatigue is starting to finally wear off. Ricks had a couple of games to try and warm up here and maybe give themselves a break taking the first 2 losses pretty brutally. Now German Amigos, they've taken 2 losses in a row. Can they recover? I'm not sure, though, because with only about 70 seconds left, they do look poised to score another, but it's not going to be easy. Ricks are battling on defense. They are locking down tight, and they need to have something go awry if German Amigos want a shot here. 60 seconds left. German Amigos taking 2 shots in that 15-second period, as I had just spoken upon. And now they're looking to take even more. Mike on the backboard will clear this one out. And maybe, just maybe, Ricks have got a second to breathe. Not if Catalyst has something to say about it. He's going to charge in here. Got a pass to the center. Uh-oh, but Rizek's a bit too far pushed up. And Mike might have just secured the game. 43 seconds, and Ricks are up by 2.
That was, for a long period of time, chum and shark-infested waters. And then, again, German Amigos, the rotation just breaks down. Mike Boy, again in a position that you wonder why he's up there, similar to Ocelon's opener in this game. But Ricks benefit from it. They've restored the 2-goal lead with 34 seconds to go now. It's something to hold on to, a cushion to rest your head on. And German Amigos are doing their best to pull it out from underneath Ricks. They don't have a lot of time left as Rizex turns one on. Ocelon to send it away. Slows it down in the corner. Catalysm wins the 50-50. But Mike Boy there again. Cash this time comes out on top over Ivan. Rizex can't get anything on that one. German Amigos running out of time. They need a goal now. They need one. It's not going to come in time. And Rex.GG complete the reverse sweep.
My, oh my, Ricks after game number 2, we thought there was absolutely no way they were coming back into this one, but they do the unthinkable. 3 games in a row, 3 convincing games in a row, and they take the series. That kickoff goal in game number 3, we had no idea how monumentous it would end up being. It gave the momentum, it gave everything, the motivation, the just spirit, everything that Ricks was looking for, and it propelled them to this victory here in game number 5. GG's, well played to Ricks. I really don't have much more to say to you guys besides congratulations on taking the win. And here we are, Solar. We mentioned this before. We have another group that not a single person has lost all their games and not a single person has won all their games. This group was just as close as Group A. I was about to say Group Number A, which I know is not accurate, but Group A is just as close as Group B. And if that's any indication of what the playoffs are going to be like, I can't wait to be back here tomorrow. We have got insane action. We had insane action here today, but unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. Solar, that was an incredible final series.
Yeah, unbelievable. I think German Amigos, again, just showed what they're made of early on. Really just came out swinging. They controlled it beautifully, but all it took was Rex to get that lucky break, just get that kickoff goal in game number 3 after already scoring. And from there, it just seemed to pick them up again. They really started to dominate with 2 games in a row following that, getting 4 goals each. German Amigos got 1 in game 4 and 2 in game 5. And for a period of time in game 5 there as well, when it went 3-2, it really looked like German Amigos were going to tie that one up, and just a little overcommit, and Mike Boy again just being completely out of rotation, really, if you think about it, there to turn it on net. Arguably a lucky break again for Ricks, but I say this so often in Rocket League. You can call it luck, whatever you want, but you have to make your own luck there. And ultimately, by record, German Amigos do still finish top of the group by a game differential +4. Ricks then second, 2-1 +2. Sandrock Gaming go third in the group purely on head-to-head. Both them and White Demons went 1-2 on the day and -3 differential. So Sandrock finished third. So what we have coming up tomorrow will be Monkeys versus White Demons. It'll be Rex versus BS+COMPETITION, which again is a rematch of what was almost an 18-minute OT last time those 2 teams faced off. And Woke Up Like This will face Sandrock Gaming. And finally, German Amigos have bagged themselves a game against SK Gaming. So that will be tomorrow. And let me tell you, if it's anything like today, you do not want to miss it.
Yeah, you really do not. And the great part about this entire competition is that we've got 2 places to witness this. If you guys didn't catch up on all the action that was here today, I highly recommend going back and watching the VOD and checking out everything that happened. But if you have caught all the action on this stream, we've got another stream that you guys should be checking out as well. The Coliseum GG is another place that this is all being streamed. Our !B stream is going to give you guys all of the coverage necessary, and both of us will be back tomorrow. Both the A stream and B stream will be here. We'll be ready for that playoff bracket like you just described. But for now, that is unfortunately all we've got here today. Solar, it was a pleasure casting with you for the first time, my friend. I hope that we meet up again in the booth some other time, but unfortunately today is not the day. Any last words before we head on out of here?
Yeah, I have to say it's been an absolute pleasure, and I think we've definitely got a massive bracket to watch for. I know I'm going to be back in the Rex Boys, but that's just me being biased. I'm quite happy coming out the end of that, but it is 4 p.m. BST tomorrow, 5 p.m. CEST. And I'm not going to say all the time zones, you yourselves can work it out from there. But yeah, thank you everyone who did tune in, and I hope we will see you tomorrow, because if you're not around, you are missing out.